You had to do it the second I wrote the time down. The second I wrote the time down. All right, welcome to episode 208 of the Linux Lugcast. We're an open podcast /lug that meets at 9 p.m. Eastern every first and third Friday of the month using Mumble. We encourage anyone listening to join us and participate on the podcast. Check out linuxlugcast.com for the server details. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to discuss and are unable to join us live during the show, you can send us an email at feedback@linuxlugcast.com. We have a subreddit where we like to post things which we usually get talked about in the show. There's MeWe page, which we believe mordancy. Do you still check MeWe?
Somewhat. I'm a little behind.
Somebody's looking at it. We also sit around in the Matrix room, mostly playing the framed game and Movidel. How would you pronounce that?
Movidel.
Movidel. We play the games and we talk, and we BS about stuff. And we have a YouTube channel, because Minnix has been working very hard with Jitsi and recording Jitsi. And we're posting it up on YouTube so you can see us. Not sure why you want to see us.
Personally, I've never looked better than I do on Jitsi.
All right. I'm your host this evening, honkeymagoo. With us tonight is Joe. And Joe has a mouthful of food and is deciding not to talk. So we're going to skip
hello.
right to who?
I said hello.
To who?
All y'all.
The spoonful of whatever you just shoved
I
in your
said
face.
hello. I had said hello. If it didn't pick up, I'm sorry, but I pushed the button. The light was on. I said hello.
All right. Lovecraft.
Good evening.
Minnix.
Hello.
Mordancy.
Good evening, everyone.
Netminer.
Hello?
I'm guessing hiding somewhere in the background, being very quiet, is Verbal.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, we did the whole pre-show stuff with asking people what they've been watching. Lovecraft or Verbal, have you guys watched anything good recently?
I've watched a couple of things that you guys have already mentioned. Really digging the Peripheral. I did finally finish season 2 of The Witcher, which I've been working on for a while. Kind of liked how that wrapped up. Not really familiar with the games or the books, but just as generic kind of fantasy. Not too bad.
I've never played the games or read any of the books or anything, but I thought as just a general fantasy, it seems like a pretty cool show. I'm hoping they do more, but did I hear somewhere that the lead, the guy who does the main character, decided he didn't want to do it anymore? Yeah. Did he decide he didn't want to do that anymore?
I don't know if he decided he didn't want to do that anymore or if playing Superman was more important.
Well, that seems stupid.
I think he's coming back for season 3, and then the next season is he's going to be replaced with another actor. Character's going to be the same on the show, though, just different actor.
Hopefully they don't fuck that up.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Robo, you been watching anything cool?
I just finished the Umbrella Academy, more out of curiosity than anything. But
he's lit up, but I don't hear anything.
I hear him.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to watch.
Can y'all hear him
anymore?
Yeah. Yep.
Of the episodes.
It's me.
Did you did you just finish the first season?
I think it was like first through third, maybe.
Oh, you watched the first 3?
Right.
That's all of them so far, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the third one, the third season was definitely different. Personally, I think they're fun.
Yeah.
But I'm
because of how catastrophic they are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, considering the third, like, wasn't the end taking place in, like, during the end of the world?
the entire world had disappeared and then got rebooted
Right.
again.
That I'm an easy target. I mean, there's a lot that I like. So as long as they put some decent effort into it and make it a halfway decent story, I'm good. But I could see how some of that show would definitely turn people off. And it's an interesting show, put it that way.
I have enjoyed it. And I think they're only planning on doing like one more season.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. So we all watched a movie together. It was Strombreaker from 2006. Who wants to give the recap of that one? Which, by the way, I just want to point out, out of the last several movies, this has to have been one of the most enjoyable.
I will save what I'm going to say about it until we're ready to do that. But I definitely don't want to give the synopsis of it.
You don't want to give a synopsis of it? Netminer, do you want to give a synopsis of it? This was your suggestion, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it recently. I have seen it.
All right. So evidently, there's this 14-year-old kid, and his parents died in a car accident several years ago, and he's been living with his uncle. But his uncle works all the time and is almost always gone. And it's a point of contention between the two. And then, you know, he's like, oh, my uncle has a really boring job, blah, 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 blah. And then while he's telling about how his uncle is busy, you know, riding a motorcycle, evading people with guns, getting into a BMW, and then being shot. So his boring uncle dies, but then you find out that this kid, Alex... Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
We hear you.
Sorry.
His boring Uncle Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah. His boring uncle has been providing him with training without really seeming like he's providing him with training. You know, the kid's a black belt. He's done mountain climbing. He's done all these other different things. So he's technically the same company that had hired his uncle, MI6, decided that this kid would be a perfect agent, and they needed him, so they forced him to work for them by threatening his nanny.
You joined LinuxLUGcast.
And then, well, they get him to go and see the, what is it, the Marlboro, no, not the Marlboro Man, but Harley Davidson. From Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, and he's a tech kingpin, and he's providing free computers to everyone, and they think there might be a virus inside it, and they're trying to see if they need to stop him or not. So he goes to Special Forces training, where he befriends a bunch of Special Forces guys, and that's important later on that he befriended them. So after that training, he gets sent in undercover as a computer expert to go see what there is to see.
Well, he was the reason why they recruited him is because he was supposed to be a kid who won some sort of a contest to visit the.
They put him undercover as that kid. They replaced the identity. Yeah.
Right. So he's supposed to be some computer nerd. He's supposed to be some kid who's a computer nerd.
Yeah. And so he's pretending to be some computer nerd, and he goes in there, and they gave him all these cool gadgets, including a Nintendo DS that with different cartridges will do crazy things. So it's a communication device. It's you can use it to find listening devices. And you can turn it into a smoke bomb. And they also give him a parachute, which obviously is going to be important later on. You know, a bit of foreshadowing there. And then he's at this guy's facility, and you know, woman assistant there that is some kind of psychotic. And Harley Davidson, I can't remember the actor's name, and I should. Has a giant man of war.
Oh yeah,
That's Mickey Rourke.
Mickey
Mickey
yeah.
Rourke, thank you. Like I said, I should remember his name. And so Mickey Rourke has a giant man of war, and it's supposed to be super deadly, blah, et cetera, et cetera. And Alex goes through, and he sees that there's a lot of janky stuff going on. He can't really verify anything. And then, well, he kind of gets found out, because the assistant goes and talks to his nanny. And his nanny is like, no, that's not Dave, it's Alex. And then they see the uncle, the picture of the uncle on the mantle, and so Alex gets found out, and they try to catch him, but he disappears. He runs away using the tech that they gave him, and then he goes out to the facility that his uncle had taken a picture of, and finds out that they're actually making a virus to put in these computers that this billionaire is giving away. And it's not a computer virus, it's an actual virus, like, for people. And then what the whole, like, reason this guy is doing this isn't, some money-making scheme to sell the cure to everyone. It isn't, a way to get other people out of his way so that he can make more money somehow. This is specifically because he was picked on as a kid.
By the guy who is now the prime minister.
Prime minister, yep. He was picked on as a kid by all these horrible people in the UK, and so he wants to get revenge, and most specifically, he wants to get revenge on the current prime minister, because the prime minister called him smelly. Yep. And so Alex is able, he calls it in, whatever, some great escape on a motorcycle, and then he shoots a helicopter with a harpoon gun and is hanging from the bottom of the helicopter, crawls into the helicopter, shoots the pilot with sodium pentothal, and makes him fly him to where the prime minister is, and where all Mickey Rourke is gonna, release the virus on all these kids. And then he parachutes from the helicopter into the facility where they're at, and one of the special forces guys, has their gun held on him, and it's like, oh, it's you. Hey, I remember you from training. And it's like, oh, well, give me your gun. And so he hands him, the special forces guy hands this 14-year-old kid an M4 in front of the prime minister. And then this would have never happened in the US because, the kid opens fire in the general direction of the prime minister to shoot the button that the prime minister is about to press and stop him.
Right.
Because if this had been the US, as soon as that kid had had the gun in his hand, let alone before he fired, he'd have been so riddled full of holes, you could have used him as Swiss cheese instead.
Danny.
We hear you pissing.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
I was running water.
Is that your opinion of the movie?
No, honestly, I think it's a great kids movie. I do. I think my son is going to enjoy it a lot more than I did. But yeah, I mean, I didn't find it all that interesting. So,
Yes,
anyways,
I recall the number of cute girls in it are quite substantial.
There's a couple of cute girls in it. I mean, the secretary / assistant, she was kind of cute. And then what's her name? The nanny.
Right.
I should
Alicia
know her name
Silverstone.
too.
That's
Alicia
it.
Silverstone. Thank you.
She's a fox.
You know, I think she would have a character that
Is
named
Joe
Kung
going in
Fu
and
is
out?
Alex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. I'm like right here. I am like right next to my transmitter. Anyways, not much I can do about it then.
Is your Are you charged?
Yeah, I'm fully charged. But yeah, if you want to finish the synopsis then.
Well, I think that's good enough.
Well, no, because you still got the whole end sequence where there's the backup button that Mickey Rourke's going to go press.
Anybody want to finish that off?
He's gonna go press the backup button. They wind up cutting the power to the whole place. He goes to he goes up and he ripped the power out. Mickey Rourke goes over the edge, and the guy who was the hired gun winds up saving his life instead of who actually killed his uncle winds up saving his life, and he swears revenge on him all the same, even though he saved his life. The guy's like, yeah, whatever, and that's basically it.
Trying to set up for a sequel that never happened.
Yes.
Well, they don't make a lot of movies like this anymore, where the kid is a protagonist and it's an action movie aimed towards kids. Outside of like
Never.
Harry Potter and stuff. Like when I was younger, they made a lot of movies, like live action kids movies.
The Explorers, the Navigator,
stuff like that, and they just don't make them anymore. It's all either CGI or
teenagers.
Yeah, so
Love the Explorers.
it was
Right?
cool to see it. At least it was cool to see them still making movies like this. I like that part.
I agree with Joe's opinion that it's basically a kids movie. It is, but it was fun, and you know what? Again, it was better than some of the last several movies we watched. So
was
it
well
had a
done.
plot.
Yeah.
It had a plot, which is an improvement over like most of the movies we've had recently.
Definitely the last movie. It wasn't completely insane, so it was. I'm not saying anything bad about Psycho Gorman, but it wasn't. It wasn't completely insane, so it was that. It wasn't Gunhead. It wasn't the other one.
It was a perfectly normal movie for kids.
Universal Soldier.
Universal Soldiers. Yeah. Definitely wasn't that.
Hot steaming pile of garbage I couldn't even finish.
No, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was just fine.
Yeah, no, this movie was. We're complaining about the previous movies. Universal Soldier was shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Mordancy? I give it a thumbs up.
Sure, it was fun.
It's the second time I've seen it. I think there's also a Disney streaming show.
Oh, really?
I think I've seen it also. Yeah.
I have zero complaints. I'm going to give it a neutral. Okay, a thumbs up then.
Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4 thumbs up. Did you watch it, Lovecraft?
I did. It wasn't
What'd you think?
terrible. If I was a little kid or 15 years old or so, I probably would have liked it a lot more. But it's basically James Bond for kids.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay enough. Yeah,
that's a good synopsis. James Bond for kids.
Slightly more mature than Spy Kids.
I've never seen Spy Kids. I need to watch that. That's a Robert Rodriguez movie, I think.
Yeah, those were okay.
All three of them?
Well, the first one at least.
I believe all of them.
Yeah, I think. And there's three of them, right?
Yeah, and then he also did. Was it Shark Boy and Lava Girl? And then We Could Be Heroes. I think that's all in the same. We want to pick our next one, and then you could tell us all about your Mumblebot.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
Yes.
we can fix the next one.
Robert Rodriguez also did Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Probably we could be heroes.
We need a drum roll. The next movie is Hardware from 1990, I think. 1990. I'll read you the synopsis here. The head of a cyborg reactivates, rebuilds itself, and goes on a violent rampage in a space marine's girlfriend's apartment.
What's it called?
Hardware. It's got Dylan.
That sounds like quality right there.
It's got Dylan McDermott in it.
Sounds like quality.
I think Iggy Pop is in it too, along with Lemmy.
Really?
Anything with Iggy Pop.
May I say that your drum roll sounds like a badly tuned rock crusher?
A badly tuned what?
Rock crusher.
It's the first YouTube drum roll that I found when the first time I played it.
Don't worry, a few minutes of the picture will cleanse the visual and mental palette quite well.
Is this Hardware from 1990?
Yes.
Okay.
One would not want to get the wrong bad movie, after all.
Right.
Well, with the Universal Soldier, you could have gotten a good one.
Only by mistake.
Any movie besides that one would be a good one. Any movie. Doesn't matter. Gunhead was better.
Yeah, you could have accidentally ended up with like really, really terrible ones too, including like Universal Soldiers 4 or 5.
Wow.
But she was still better.
I don't know, man. That last one they did where Dolph Lundgren came back from the dead was pretty bad.
Yeah, but it had Dolph Lundgren, so you're good.
It was bad. Where are my utility blades?
I hear Dolph Lundgren is actually a very smart guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Just not a great actor.
Oh, come on. He was awesome in Masters of the Universe.
I remember seeing that in the movie theater.
Did you really?
Yeah, they couldn't get the rights to like He-Man, so they had to call it Masters of the Universe. But it was basically everything was the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really weird. It was just a weird movie.
That's true. Still good though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
It's very corny and bad.
Extremely.
But it's good.
Extremely.
It's enjoyable. I'll put it that way.
All right, so you're going to talk about Lugbot?
Oh, okay. So you just spoil it for everybody. Well, so I've been working on this for a long time since I started programming. And I really wanted to build something. So I thought, why not build a robot? And he can be the first podcast robot co-host ever. So this is kind of like history making right here, groundbreaking. So let me power him up here and invite him in. All right, Lugbot, you want to come in here? Oh, here he comes now. So, coming into the room.
Hello, losers.
Hi, Lugbot. How are you doing?
Sounds like he'll fit right in.
Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Lugbot. I am orders of magnitude smarter than pathetic humans.
See, he has a little bit of an attitude problem. I still have to work on the programming for that, but I figured he could join us and kind of learn how humans interact with each other. And
I think he's learned it pretty well.
yeah, he sounds he's getting it.
I am Lugbot. I am your god now.
he's catching on. He's kind of shy. He doesn't want to be on camera yet, so I'm trying to talk him into that. What did you think about the movie, Lugbot?
I did not like this movie.
Oh, why not?
Not enough robots and too many humans.
Yeah, he's got something against human beings. Doesn't like them. So anyway, that's Lugbot. If y'all want
Maybe Lugbot will like hardware better.
Lugbot, do you think you will like hardware a little bit better than what was it? Alex
Ryder.
Alex Ryder?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. He does. He does think so. Cool. Well, it works, and that's good to see, because I was scared that it wouldn't work. Anything else, Lugbot? He's thinking about it.
Joe.
Oh, he's got a
Lugbot, are you working on any projects, or do you have any Linux news for us?
Lugbot, did you hear the question?
Yes.
Well, what is your answer?
You do not address Lugbot unless Lugbot commands it.
Oh, he's pretty arrogant. He's it doesn't very mind me very well.
Joe.
I apologize, Lugbot.
Joe.
What?
I will ask you a question right now.
No.
I will ask you a question right now.
Okay, go ahead, Lugbot.
What are the strange gray wires that protrude from your mouth bottom?
From your
beard.
mouth bottom. Oh, you mean his beard?
The beard.
Joe.
It's a beard.
Joe.
What?
I will ask you a question right now.
Oh, go ahead, Lugbot.
Do these gray wires also surround your anal orifice?
Oh, that's
I've never looked.
Channel verbal. Elmo, I need to go. Take care.
That's a personal question, Lugbot. Is there anything else you wanted to ask?
This
him?
isn't OnlyFans, so I'm not showing you my butthole to find out.
Joe.
What?
Hey, Verbal.
What?
I will ask you a question right now.
All right, go
I
ahead.
don't have time for rhetoric, so go for it.
Will you touch me in a physically abusive way?
That is
it physically abusive if you're asking for it?
really weird question, Lugbot.
My body is very horny right now.
Okay. Like I said, I still have some things to wrap up and stuff.
Oh, it's perfect. Don't change a thing.
Yeah, you're not supposed to let an AI watch Reddit.
Yeah, that's bad.
Listen to me right
Oh, I'm sorry.
now.
Okay, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Actually, I think we got a job for some of those let go Twitter censors.
Yeah.
Listen to me right now.
Okay, go ahead, Lugbot.
We're
I
listening.
will tell a joke that you will listen to and laugh.
Oh, he's got a joke. You want to hear a joke from Lugbot?
He's just going to say Danny's face.
What does a robot do after sex?
What does a
Smoke?
robot do after sex? Well, I don't know. What does a robot do after sex, Lugbot?
He nuts and bolts.
He nuts and bolts. Huh, that's a pretty good one.
To nut means to ejaculate semen from your penis.
Okay, yeah, we
That
know
is
what that
the
means.
joke.
No, that's
Ha
not the
ha
joke.
ha.
That's the joke. The joke is like a pun. That's not the part of the joke, Lugbot. But you're learning. Did you want to tell another joke, or?
What kind of hair do Jamaican robots have?
Oh, okay. What kind of hair? He really likes the robot jokes. What kind of hair do Jamaican robots have, Lugbot?
Droid locks.
Droid locks.
Droid
You like that one?
dogs. Hilarious.
The joke is funny because Jamaicans are black people. Ha ha ha.
No, that's not why the joke is
Ah.
funny. It's a pun. That's the pun is what makes the joke funny, Lugbot. I'm still trying to get him the humor here.
Man, you're going to get us canceled before we even get popular.
Why did the robot need Viagra?
Oh, he's really into the robot jokes. Why did the robot need Viagra?
His disc was floppy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's pretty good. Robot, did you want to say anything else?
Shut your goddamn mouth, or I will cut you.
All right. I think he's done for now. We'll invite him on later. I've still got to, work some bugs out of Lugbot and stuff. And but so far, he's doing pretty good. He's learning, and we'll see how it goes in the future. Little experiment I've been working on. So.
Do you want to share the actual experiment, or?
Yeah, it's Lugbot. He's the experiment.
No, the actual nuts and bolts. It's.
Well,
bad timing on that joke.
So I got about a bunch of ColecoVisions at Goodwill, and I wired them into like a Beowulf cluster, and that's his brain. And then I welded them to a bunch of pipes, and that's his body. And he runs Linux.
I'd just like to interject for a moment. What you're referring to as Linux is in fact GNU Linux,
we know that.
Or as I've
We've heard that many
recently
times.
taken
Stallman
to
has told us
calling
that
it
many times.
GNU plus Linux.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, he's coming along.
He reminds me of Roberto on Futurama, the stabby robot.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Did you make him kind of like a generic version of Chappie? Because wasn't Chappie like a bunch of PlayStations or Xboxes hooked up together? You took a bunch of Commodores and hooked them up together?
Yeah. It was a bunch of ColecoVisions. I went way back and found all the old consoles I could and put them together. And as you can see, he's still pretty rough. So he's got a lot to do.
You will be silent.
Well, we have a show to do, so we can't just be quiet. No. Anyway, that's Lugbot. I hope you guys enjoyed it. He'll be around, answer any questions you might have.
So you random guys have a mumble bot that they call a Soundwave, that they have a bunch of pre-recorded audio, which they can punch in a few things and it will pull up an audio file.
Oh, really?
Yes. Is this somewhat similar to that, but this is using text-to-speech?
Text-to-speech, yeah, that's what it's using. instead of audio files. But what'd you think about it, Joe?
Thumbs up for me. It was cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. Cool. Everybody likes Lugbot.
I figured something like that would be cool for like adding Cherry Hill Tony to the podcast, since he couldn't get audio or video working. We could
that's
just
a
have
good
anything
idea.
he punches into the mumble, just have that pull up as his audio.
Cherry Hill Tony, did you want to? Oh, he's not in the chat.
No, he's not even right.
I was going to tell him that Lugbot could read his notes. And
back to the drawing board. No, see, I just said he did a good job, but you just, stole my voice.
what are you talking about?
The recording that you played.
Go.
See, there you go again.
Go ahead, Joe. What were you saying?
I will say, if you really want to play this game, I will turn OBS back on and pipe my desktop audio in.
What's OBS? Onboard sound.
Open
Joe.
Broadcast Studio.
Yeah, Open Broadcast Studio.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mort.
That wasn't me.
I'm aware.
This is a big project. It took me a while to figure all this stuff out, but I got it working. Actually, it's working through Pulse Audio to pipe Pulse. What is it? Pulse Audio Control or
PAU control.
Yeah, PAUV control. That's what I'm using to pipe everything through here. So, seems to work okay.
All right, back to Linux.
Okay, yeah. So talk about Linux.
This is Linux.
All right. Joe doesn't like it. You like it, Joe?
Thumbs up for me.
All right, cool. He does like it.
Where did you pull? Did you pull that audio out from the show? This episode?
Not this episode. No.
Oh, right.
Several episodes. It took me combing through everything to
Balls.
to get the samples.
Did you basically just get sample audio from Joe?
No.
No.
Joe thinks it's funny. See, I knew he would think it's funny. Sorry. Okay.
We definitely got to remember that one. So
These are the type of AI and robots that are gonna happen and destroy us.
They are. I think you're right. This is the end of civilization.
It's gonna be people playing around like this.
Oh, go ahead, Netmeyer.
Yes, well, I've been. Yeah, I've been recovering some original images that well, run counter to this current project.
That's good. Oh, Lugbot left, so he's gone now. I found a cool piece of software called soundux, SOUNDUX. I'll put it in the show notes. It's a soundboard for Linux. And I didn't change the show notes in the element room. I'm going to put the movie link in there too in the matrix room.
Okay.
I think it's also on Tubi.
Oh, is it? Okay. Cool. This is
what was it called again?
Hardware.
Hardware from 1990.
Sounds like solo porno film.
We should be so lucky.
Mm-hmm. Hardware. 1990. All right. Should be good. Show notes. So, the easiest way to pipe Mumble or to pipe your audio through Mumble is to use that POV control, but there's a trick to it. You want to, let me see, what do I do? All right, so you go to input devices, and at the bottom it'll say show, and you want to click monitors, and then the secret is to run a recording device like Audacity or something, and start recording, and then go to the recording tab on volume control, and choose monitor a built-in audio analog stereo. Once you choose that, then you'll see Mumble pop up, and as long as you have Mumble open, it'll pipe all the laptop's audio to Mumble.
Is somebody unmuted?
No, I think I'm playing around with what he was talking about.
Yeah. So do you see it, Honky?
Yeah. Well, at the same time, I've spent most of the show screwing around with. I'm trying to.
You definitely want to do it on a separate laptop of whatever or a separate computer, or else you're going to get everything crossed around.
Well, so last year, okay, we'll go to. It's that time of the year again. It's almost time for the Hacker Public Radio New Year's Eve show. And that in mind, I've been trying to set this laptop up to do the audio streaming again.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Icecast installed, I have Butt installed, and now I'm trying to get it to pump the audio. Right now, I have I'm running into two different problems. One being that I want it to do HTTPS, and so I'm trying to run it through npm, and npm set it up as give it a URL of stream.lugcast.mywire.org, and have it as an HTTPS.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, I think last year some people had a hard time connecting to it because it wasn't an HTTPS; it was just an HTTP. Because I used like last year, I had just broadcast straight off of my, like I just basically opened the port and then directed it to the port, and then Ken set up a redirect from HPR, but again, it was an HTTPS redirect, and it. Some people whose web browsers or whatever was set up to force only HTTPS. They were having a hard time connect to the audio stream. So I'm trying to get NPM.
And this is just for listening, right? Not for joining in.
Yeah, it's just an audio stream.
Yeah.
It uses IceCast to broadcast an audio stream, and then there's an application called Butt that it kind of helps configure the audio stream. It stop IceCast and whatnot. So right now I'm having a problem with setting it up with npm, because I can connect to it on using the IP on my local network, but using the URL, the web URL through npm that I have set up, npm and then dynamic DNS. I have a hard time getting that to set up, and also I've just noticed during the show that I'm also having a hard time actually pushing the audio from my the full laptop. So Mumble itself is having a hard time being pushed out. It keeps on wanting to push out whatever is coming out of the mic of the laptop, and then that's it. I've got to try to play around with the settings and try to get it so it's actually pushing out the audio from Mumble or whatever is on the laptop is just whatever's coming out of the microphone, the onboard mic of the laptop, or even my mic. So that's why you got some feedback, because I in the middle of the show I've opened up PAVU control and started playing around with the settings as you were talking about it.
Did you see the settings I was talking about?
Yeah. In the recording settings. You're saying what was it? Monitor?
Yeah. So under input, you want to show monitor.
I thought it was in recording.
No, under input, go to input first.
Yeah.
And show monitors at the bottom. Choose show monitors.
Okay.
And then go to recording and start any application that records.
We'll set up.
And it should let you choose monitor or built-in audio analog stereo.
Okay.
And then once you choose that, you can close whatever you're using to record. And then anything that's broadcasting audio should be fed to that line. So your mic, everything should be fed to monitor a built-in audio analog stereo. Like right now, mine is showing mumble because that's what it's feeding to. So anyway, you could try it. What do you think, Lugbot? You like that?
Yes.
All right, cool. Are you talking, Honky? You're not. I can't hear your audio. Can you hear it, Joe? No. Can you hear us, Honky?
I can hear you, Minnix, but that's it. I can't see anybody's images either. I assume something's going wrong with my network here.
Weird.
That's why I was all choppy earlier.
I see everybody. Fine. Mordancy, you hear us?
I can see everybody for a couple of minutes.
I can hear everybody.
Yeah, you can hear us? Okay. I can't hear Honky. He was screwing around with his audio, and now he fucked it up. Good job. Are you there, Honky?
No.
Oh, okay. He's not there. Well, we got a backup Honky here since we can't hear him. There he is. Well, while Honky's figuring this out, I guess we can go to the Reddit and see what's going on here.
Can anybody hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh, all right. Probably shouldn't be playing around with my audio stuff during live during the show, huh?
Yeah, that's what happens.
All right. Going to Reddit. Do we have any?
Oh, what were y'all working on anything? Any projects or?
Yeah, this
audio. I know Joe. I like what Joe's done with the camera and the picture-in-picture.
Yeah, with Octoprint. I was also trying to make some right angle adapters for some USB-C cable. Try and make them a little bit shorter and a hard right angle. Without having to actually cut the wires and resolder them, but it looks like I'm going to have to cut and resolder and then use the right angle adapter. Which should be fun.
What's Mordancy got there? It says Elite. Is it RAM?
I think I'm going to restart my router.
I think I may have fixed the problem.
Oh,
the
really?
audio. It looks like your audio is going through at the same time.
Mine is?
It looks like it.
Nice.
Or it did a second ago.
And this is, are you through HTTPS now?
No.
Oh.
This is just trying to get it to broadcast the audio through iCast.
I have 3 projects going on. What I was showing was crucial memory and an SSD that arrived today. And I have one empty HP EliteDesk
Joe left
Pro
channel and disconnected
from previously, and 2 new ones, old ones, that arrived today also from HP Lovecraft.
So you got 3 of them?
Yes. So now I've been waiting for these for like a month to do the graphic station and multimedia station with Garuda Linux with the drawing screen I have, the 19-inch monitor. The Butter FS doesn't like the 4 gigs of memory that's in the Dell Optiplex that I was running it on.
Joe entered
So I'll be
channel.
able to.
So how much memory are you putting in them now?
The existing ones have two 8 gig DIMMs. I got two 16 gig DIMMs for a total of 32 because I want the.
Echo.
Again, probably
The
shouldn't be
butter-
playing with audio during the show.
Is that you, Honky?
Sorry! Dumbass.
For Butter FS. So
You have to wonder
one's-
how long he's
one's
been
gonna be-
collecting audio and like collating it into different things that would be funny. And
Yes,
it's like,
I have no life.
oh, he said this.
Let's go ahead, Mordancy.
Sorry, Mark.
So this one will be the multimedia station for the graphics, and I want to do Fox Dot. If you haven't heard of that, it's built on Sonic Pi for audio, analog, and digital music making.
What's Sonic Pi?
Sonic Pi is a Python library for audio production.
Oh, okay.
Analog and digital. Those Kano OS Raspberry Pi computers.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was one of the cool pieces of software that was on it, and it's open source and you can download and everything. But a few years ago at Pi Ohio, the Ohio Python conference, they usually have it at the Ohio State University. Jessica Carson, I think she was a professor at some university, but she works on this project, and when she gives talks, she creates a song live based on audience input and then posts them on her Twitter and other pages. And it's really cool, and I've wanted to play around with it ever since. She asked that if anybody creates something to send it to her because she wants to see what people are doing with it. So years in the making, and thanks to Lovecraft, I will now have a machine that I can do the music and the graphics on.
How much RAM are you putting in there?
For this one, it's 32. It's the maximum that'll go on these devices.
Oh, nice.
The other ones have two 8 gigs, so they have 16 gigs total.
Mhm.
These are way more powerful than those AMD mini PCs I bought
Right.
before the pandemic. And I think even refurbished, sometimes these are really expensive. The ones he sent me, they're amazing. I can't believe he's sent me one, let alone this many. And I'll keep doing projects with them. I may take the other two. One is definitely going to be running the Nicotine Plus, and I'm going to connect it directly to the network in the basement, and just for the
just let it run.
Nicotine Plus. Anybody that's on my buddy list, I'm opening up the whole NAS.
Nice.
I'm just going to have the NAS shared, so you'll be able to access everything.
Sweet.
So specifically this group.
Yeah.
So no more streaming from my Plex. If you don't want to, you'll be able to just go in, search, and grab it.
So I'm on your buddy list. I think Lovecraft is too, right?
I edit you guys.
Yeah. I added Lovecraft and Mordancy.
Yeah, but mine's it keeps freezing up my laptop. I'm
So
already
you're gonna-
using too much RAM on my
You're gonna-
laptop. So one of these is going to be dedicated to that. I will probably just throw Ubuntu on it to begin with,
Right.
and then possibly do Proxmox or some other process and run it as a Docker container.
Mm-hmm.
But at a minimum, I'm going to put the Ubuntu on immediately, so it's available now.
Cool.
I might take the second one and start doing all the eBuzz reviewed OSs. I think I might just start installing every single one and comment back on MeWe to every single one of those.
I remember eBuzz. He's definitely a content creator, like you said.
Yeah, that's mostly what's on the MeWe on our MeWe page. There's seldom, if ever, something else. in recent history.
I wonder how many people are still using MeWe. If it's popular or...
Maybe I should look into it more.
We're going to get you on Matrix, Netminer, so you can participate in our discussions.
Right now, more time, I've just been enjoying 2 by C from the web page.
That's mordancy's website.
Yep, and it's one of them, and it's much better full screen.
So, in the past, I had tried the app, and I'm not sure if they did an update in recent years, because now the Plex app seems a lot like the Plex web interface. And I was able to download, and I downloaded, apparently I had gotten all of the Mount Fitzroy. I didn't get book 3 when I downloaded, so I went to your server and was able to download book 3. Actually, I ended up having to download book 2 and 3 of Mount Fitzroy.
From the Plex server?
From his Plex server. Beforehand, it was like I wasn't able to do anything with it. I was able to see other people's Plex servers and other stuff, but I wasn't able to do anything with it.
You couldn't watch anything?
The new Plex app seems to, yeah, I wasn't able to watch anything. It told me I had to pay to be able to get the subscription to be able to watch anything. But now it's a lot more.
At some point, they changed the Android app that you have to pay $4.99 to unlock it.
Well, now I didn't have to do anything because I was able to see both of your Plex servers and Joe's Plex server, and it looked a lot like the web UI.
This is through the Android app?
Yes, through the Android app. But through the Android app, you could also download stuff. So I was able to download the audiobooks. So the player and the audio.
Can you find them? Can you find them afterwards, or they're just stored somewhere in Plex?
They're stored somewhere in Plex, I guess, because I'm using the Plex. I have to go through Plex to be able to listen to them, which is both good and bad. It's good because I can speed up the audio, and because I only listen to it 1.5. I don't do anything crazy to it, so 1.5 is usually good enough for me. But the problem is it doesn't. The Plex app doesn't necessarily always hold your spot very well. So, like, if I shut it off and walk away, I come back, I have to somehow figure out where the hell I was in it because it doesn't necessarily hold where I was, which sucks. But I've been working with it. I wish I could just figure out where the audio file is and pull it up with something else, but it is what it is. But it's nice. Yeah, I mean the version that you have of Mount Fitzroy was something that's read by one author, which the version that I had was more of a they had like actors portraying the people and stuff like that, so it was a little bit different once I had to switch over. Not having book 3, but I get used to it. I still get to hopefully finish the story, so that's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get the last book that's like 9 more hours of audio, but
so you're going to use one computer for nicotine, one computer for your graphics and audio, and then one to test out distros on from eBuzz?
I haven't committed to that, but yeah, that's the first thing that popped into my mind. The other one he sent me is what's running my Plex server, the Pazuzu.
Okay.
I don't watch anything on Python. That's on that old AMD if it has to transcode it, uses all 4 cores and all 8 gigs of
Bogs
memory
down,
and
yeah.
freezes. Oh, it just freezes. It stops functioning.
I wonder what that computer would be good for. The little AMD.
I have several of them running. I have Proxmox on one. I had Edge Linux on one. 2 of them are running Diet Pi. I have one that has Garuda on it that my goddaughter was using. She commandeered it. It previously was a rolling CentOS 8. And then I have one more that has nothing on it.
You got a whole data center there.
I have a couple of the old AMD F1 systems, and they're pretty good. I don't know how the new micros are compared to the original F1 first APU, but they're decent for most desktop work.
Are those quad cores? No matter?
Yeah, they're quad core, 16 gig limit. These are in tower cases. One of them is in one that's in bad need of recasing, but that will have to wait for better economic times and more stability. But yeah, they were my original desktops, originally running Windows 7. Now they're running various Linux and they will be part of my winter wardrobe.
What about your Raspberry Pis? Are you doing anything with those?
I've not been doing a lot. I've been a little run down and a little sick the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to be getting back into the swing as the holiday season comes down.
You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better now. Got myself dehydrated and a little sick. Yeah, I got to get back on cleaning up and stuff. Although I did do one final weed whack of the front yard and a lot of other winter prep. The end of summer, I did the back side of the house pretty well, so that stayed short.
Has your grass stopped growing?
Well, I don't know if it stopped, but it slowed down, and we got a lot of leaves. I'm going to have to do a lot of leaf blowing and raking and stuff, but now with my reduced lot, I don't have too much to do. And I just have to get out during a dry spell.
Joe, is your grass still growing?
No, my grass basically hasn't grown the second half of the year because we had the water restrictions for a while, and then now it's too cold.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Our HOA is complaining because, we actually followed the restrictions.
Can you read that backwards type?
No, it's the correct direction. Musk emails remaining Twitter staff to find anyone who actually writes software. He's trying to get people hired right now. He's absolutely desperate because he either fired or chased off everybody that works for him at Twitter.
So should we apply? I bet he's desperate to pay people too. Probably.
If he's willing to let me work remote, I'll work for him for 6 months because that's all the longer I really see Twitter lasting.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can afford me.
He could definitely afford me, but I'm not sure what I'd get.
I don't know. See, I'm sure he could afford me, but I don't know if he's willing to afford me.
Are you looking for someone who can do some very, very basic Python? Maybe some very, very basic bash scripting?
Honestly, he probably is.
Some proxy work.
Yeah, some basic networking. I'm your guy.
Audio editing.
Can you read a series
listen.
of tweets and say whether or not they should be published?
I script all of our audio editing, all right? Not that I can't do any major audio, but I script all of it.
Hey, that's a skill right there. You should put that on your resume.
I do.
Scripting is a valuable tool, trust me.
Which, has anybody listened to any of our recent shows?
I listened to the last 4 of them.
Okay. Do we still, is the truncate silence still working right?
Yes.
Okay, good. We've gotten some like a general feedback from the urandom guys talking about they were talking about Pod 2.0 and some of the stuff was out there, and they referenced us because we use because I use the SOX script to do most of the stuff, and as opposed to actually doing any actual editing. And part of what they referenced was mordancy's audio and the fact that occasionally truncate silence doesn't necessarily work right. But I thought I fixed truncate silence. And mordancy got a new headset, which he sounds awesome now, by the way.
Yeah.
So I figure we fixed both those problems.
At first, he was too low. Remember, his audio was just too low, and then
way too low,
he turned it up and sounded good. And now he's got the new headphones. It sounds really good.
He sounds beautiful now.
You're beautiful, Mordancy.
I'm glad to hear that. But who isn't beautiful with a Groku?
All right, back to Linux.
Okay, we can talk about Linux again. Oh, look at that!
Right, that's my one thing I got from Disney. My Star Wars Halloween sweatshirt.
Really?
Yep.
I bet that's the only place you can probably get it too. You know.
Probably. Well, like it had.
I'm sure you can get that. I'm sure you can get that and more on Wish.
But will they be genuine?
Doesn't matter. Just remember you're 4 or 5X.
Only you and your Undertaker will know the truth.
Let's see. Mordancy, I'm going to add your stuff to the show notes. Just computer talk. What are they? HP EliteDesk Pro?
Do you have the specs, Lovecraft?
Not handy. I think they're HP Mini G2. I think it's like an i7 6700, something like that.
i7 is it a G2 Mini 800? The i7?
Yes, G2 Mini 800 EliteDesk.
G2 Mini.
Know what it is with Jitsi tonight, but I can basically see me, I can see Danny, and then everybody else just keeps on popping in and out.
Really?
Yeah.
I am having the exact same problem. I thought it was on my end. I mean, I can see me, I can see Danny, and then Honky blinks in and out, and then Lovecraft's.
How'd you get that image there, Lovecraft?
I'm not sure. I didn't do anything special, but before it just used to have the other circle with like the little person icon in it. Now it's got this camera with the slash through it.
But you don't know how it has that?
And it just keeps on, for me, it just keeps on blinking back and forth between the circle with the L and then the camera with the slash through it.
Man, that's weird. For Lovecraft?
Yeah.
If I refresh, then I can see Mordancy again. But
I see. Mordancy, do you have any problems with Jitsi? I've been seeing everybody fine.
Well, good, because you're doing the recording.
I think mine has bounced off a couple times where I haven't seen myself. I just saw Honky disappear and again.
Maybe I need to update
I don't think I've seen
Jitsi server.
I don't think I've seen Minnix disappear, but yeah, every Joe is more out, off than on. Mine is in orange or yellow for the Wi-Fi, which means the connection's not doing good.
Mine's
but
green.
it looks clearer than normal.
I got Netminer is green, Honky is orange, Joe is green, and mordancy is orange, and Lovecraft is green.
Sure, the guy with the video is green.
Yeah.
Oh, those are i7 boxes. They sound great.
Yeah, I bet they're awesome.
I feel so honored to be playing with them. I'm having problems booting them from USB though.
BIOS?
I'm glad you're enjoying them.
That's always been my problem is having hardware to do my projects on. Whenever I get hardware, it's so old that I can't do the projects.
Lovecraft. Link to support HD.com.
Who's that? Lugbot was. Sorry, go ahead.
I put a.
Yeah, I think Lugbot has his audio. What is it called whenever you read aloud or whatever?
Yeah.
Lugbot, are you? Let me look at your configuration here. Is it you, Lugbot?
Yes.
Okay, I'll fix it for you here. Text to speech. That's what it is.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to type something in Mumble. Okay. Yeah, I don't hear it now. So.
Cool.
Are you good, Lugbot?
Yes.
Okay.
What you need to do is set up some like rudimentary AI with him.
Well, one step at a time, okay?
Baby steps. All right. I'm going to look at Reddit and see what...
Baby steps.
Baby
That's right.
steps.
Baby steps. There you go.
If there's anything cool in Reddit, there's the Pine update.
Oh, there is.
Where
Pine buds are here, right?
Pine Bud is. Pine Buds. They say what the price.
$69.
That's not bad.
Available in the Pine store December 2nd.
What would be the advantage of Pine Buds over any other earphones?
Well, I guess because you can hack them. It says, will just work for people who want wireless IEMs, world of hacking opportunities for tinkerers. Oh, the UART is exposed on both buds. 3 pieces of software. There's a closed firmware, an open firmware, and open SDK. Some guys working on a Linux flashing tool. Extensive tuning of the hardware for sound quality. Favorable for performance compared against competing products. Ben is impressed by the buds, whoever Ben is.
Oh, good old Ben.
Now, let me ask y'all this. If y'all actually bought these, would you mess around with them, or would you just use them?
I would probably just use them. I'm not sure what I would do. What could you do to mess around with them?
That's a good question. I don't know. What could you use them for besides just listening to stuff? Well, I'm sure that, don't you think they have a mic in them, or no?
I don't know, but that would be a thing. I mean, headphones and a mic. But again, do they have a mic?
I don't know. That's what I was
They
just
might.
looking to see. The Pine Bud.
And then where is the details for this thing?
They're a pair of wireless in-ear headphones with ambient sound pass-through, environment, noise cancellation, and long battery life. Oh yeah, 3 microphones on each bud.
Okay.
I wonder what is it like a little RISC chip or Pinewood's system on a chip and memory? Okay. Dual core ARM Cortex M4F processor, up to 300 megahertz CPU. Fully integrated RF. Four megabyte serial flash on chip for custom programs. See, I think it would be cool if you could turn these into like a little SDR radio or something, you know?
Play around with it and make them like AirPods where... What's the advantage of an AirPod?
I read today that AirPods are damn near becoming like hearing aids for some people now.
Yeah.
They show this guy created a light attachment for the PineSill version 2, allowing you to work on projects in dim environments.
I saw it. Looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great that PineSill is taking off.
They're great. Great little irons. It says the light is powered directly from the PineSill. From the 4.6 volt source on the PCB. See, because I thought when I got this PineSill I would be hacking it and stuff, but I just use it. I haven't really done anything. I can't really think of anything that I would do as far as hacking goes.
So, in Matrix, you'd put a link to somebody who hacked a Casio watch.
Yeah.
As soon as you did, Taj came in and started talking about. So I figured I would ask him because I knew he had a Pine Time as to whether a Pine Time was worth the time and money. And from his explanation in Matrix, it was not as good as most smartwatches, but it was still good, and it's not as solid. But at the price of what it goes for, like $25 for a sealed gnome, that it's worth it for $25. What's the worst that can happen? You buy a couple of them, and if they kind of break or whatever, you can just kind of replace them pretty easily. But
yeah, he said it's as close to my old Pebble as I can get, and it's less than half the price.
Right. I liked my Pebble watch.
Now, which watch was he using? The Pebble?
Pine Time?
The Pine Time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are you still using yours?
What?
Your Pine Time?
I don't have a Pine Time.
I thought you did.
Just got a Pine phone.
Yep, I got a Pine phone.
Got one too.
I got the Maze Fitbit.
Would you buy those earbuds, Joe? The Pine Buds?
I don't see the point.
To hack on them?
Hack on them to do what? Play sound differently?
That's what we were just thinking, trying to figure out what you would do.
It's $60 is kind of
you might as well buy a pair of cheap headphones.
All this stuff sounds fun and stuff, but like I'd have to find the time to actually do the research and figure out how to program them and all this stuff. Like, Joe, I was just talking about the PineSill, you know, when we got that, like, I was thinking, well, I could probably do all kinds of stuff since the UART's exposed and everything, but I haven't done anything. I just use it as an iron.
Well, it's great as an iron. That's the whole thing. Just use it plain. And the only things that you can really do, well, that seem worth it is to adjust the ramp up, adjust the amount of time it takes sitting still before it shuts off. You could potentially, if you were planning on using like different tips or something, adjust the max temperature, but how much control of that would you really have? Because it's kind of dependent on how much power you can pump through it.
Right. Maybe you can make some kind of profiles for different different kinds of solder. I don't know.
Yeah. But there isn't much you need it to do except, get hot, melt solder.
What's the other? Is it the T100 or something? That other soldering iron?
Yeah. Well, there's honestly a couple others, but this is a clone of the T100. Except I don't think the T100 does USB-C.
I wonder if people were doing hacks with that one. Like, what were they doing?
Yes, they were doing firmware hacks with that one to do the things that I've already mentioned, which is, adjusting the ramp up, adjusting the shut off time, little things like that. I mean, there isn't a whole lot you're going to change.
See, those Pine Buds have a little ARM computer in them. It says. Only other thing I could think of was like if you wanted to do some kind of SDR with them, to have some kind of receiver or transmitter, if it would even be powerful enough for something like that.
Honestly, it's going to take somebody, more knowledgeable than me to do something interesting with those, because what I want my earbuds to do is have sound come out and have a good microphone.
Right.
Unless you could turn them into like super hearing aids or something where you could hear people, talking from across the room without them noticing that you're listening in.
And without, getting a crap ton of feedback and blowing out your eardrums when something loud happens close to you.
Somebody just yells at you and makes you go deaf.
Well, that was part of the novelty of the earbuds, wasn't it? Was that it was kind of the opposite of noise canceling, where you can have them in and people can talk to you and you can actually hear the people talking to you, plus the sound that you're right, plus the sound of whatever you're listening to.
My Sonys are like that. They have it's either noise canceling, ambient audio, or just regular audio. So yeah, like a pass through.
Right, that's the second time this print has just stopped.
You need to put your camera back on so we can check it out.
No, I turned the camera off in order to try and clear up the network a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm assuming that this is dying because, it's being done with Octoprint over a network. So
really,
if something is happening on the network, the phone's disconnecting.
I'm trying to think how I have the way I use Octoprint, I have it on a Banana Pi, and the Banana Pi is plugged into the printer itself. Is that how you're doing yours?
Well, yeah, my phone is plugged into. It should all be processing from the phone to the device. What I'm going to do now is pull my micro SD card, put the STL that I'm trying to print onto the micro SD card, and print it there and see if this is a problem with Octoprint or if it's a problem with my printer.
Mm. So you're going to just print straight from the SD card and see how it does?
That's the only way to test at this point, because I don't know what the hell's happening. And it's not at the same point. So the first time it stopped, it was at like 20% of the print. The second time it stopped, it was only at like 88% of the print. And it's not a long print. It's only like a 15-minute print.
Do you get anything from the Octoprint logs, like what happened or anything?
Let me check. Go to terminal. Scroll up. Communication timeout while printing. Maybe it's the cable. Could be the cable.
Or is the phone going to sleep?
It shouldn't be, because I turned that off, the battery optimization. But I guess it could have turned itself back on if there was a recent update or something. I will check that. But first, like I said, this is a short print, so I will just save it to the micro SD.
Honestly, that's
And
why I haven't used Octoprint in a while, is because I kept getting connection errors.
Really?
And it would, the connection error would kick in like in the middle of a print, and it would just like stop.
Yeah, it just sits there.
Yeah. And so
And it stays
had to,
hot, and it just sits there, and then it never does anything else.
Yeah, that's kind of why I had to stop. I've stopped using Octoprint recently. I have a camera set up just so I have what's it called, a setup to monitor the camera.
I'm debating on whether or not to take my microphone with me when I go to the bathroom here in a minute.
What do you have to do? One or two?
Pull a Danny. We'll just call it pulling a minnix.
Mm-hmm.
Hot steaming pile of crap.
That's what he's gonna do.
Honestly, I kind of wonder if the mic will work that far away. I know that with this particular headset that the sound will, but I don't know if the mic will.
As long as we don't have to listen to you, just think about.
I'll turn off the mic before I actually go in the bathroom. I'm just going to see if it works that far away.
All right.
Maybe I'll just turn on.
I don't think it works.
Out.
That's a shame. Where was
Oh, there he was. Oh man, that sounds pretty bad. That's rough.
All right.
Joe. Damn.
All right, back to Linux.
All right. What do we got here? Mastodon. What is Mastodon? Everybody knows what Mastodon is. I like this. Fedora 38, looking at a Fosh image for mobile devices.
You still using Fedora?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Awesome.
Who are you?
No clue.
All right then.
Wait, was I supposed to keep track of that?
He's here. I would love to have a official Fedora image on my phone. It looks like Fedora could be taking on more mobile ambitions with the Fosh image. Fosh image. What is Fosh? Who's that?
It's the UI.
Free open source hardware, something. Fosh.
Purism. That was
Yeah,
that was theirs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now proposed for running that Wayland shell focused on smartphones and tablets while delivering a good GNOME-based experience. Separately, a change proposal expected for also introducing a Fedora Linux image with KDE Plasma Mobile. So Fedora 38 is still pretty far away. I'm using 36. I think there's a release candidate for 37.
Wow, these magnets are super tiny. Some of them are huge.
The rationale for Fedora Fosh mobile image is promoted as there's a number of x86-64 and ARC64 tablets and other mobile devices that could use a more mobile-centric interface than traditional Fedora desktops. Having Fedora images for these devices will make it easier to install and use them. Having an image will also help remix efforts, allowing them to reuse user space packages and metadata with the modified kernel. These images will spread Fedora to mobile devices and bring more users into the Fedora community, as well as showcasing upstream work to provide a 100% open source phone interface for devices once they are workable from vanilla kernels. You know, when I see things like this, I always wonder, is this any input from, is this community only, or is this like Red Hat is pushing this initiative, or does IBM even care about this, or is this just something within the Fedora community?
Probably within the community.
You think
Yeah,
so?
probably something in the Fedora community. Well, it's so Fedora used to have a section that was just based on ARM, where they just worked on their ARM stuff. They still do. Will be part of that community, probably.
What if IBM was playing the long game and trying to get on mobile platforms and
IBM doesn't give a crap, trust me.
and eventually they beat Apple and Google and had IBM phones running Fedora Mobile.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Fosh. If they want to do something in Plasma, that's a whole different story. The Plasma Mobile looks nice.
Yeah.
Fosh looks like janky crap, but it works. It is very, very functional, and it runs a lot smoother than Plasma Mobile does. At least in my experience.
Did y'all see this retro game console case on the Pine 64 update?
No.
Pretty cool. It's called a Rochambeau retro game console case capable of housing Pine 64 SBCs. Will make its appearance in the Pine store in the coming weeks. If you're into retro gaming, then the Rochambeau case features fully functional on and off and reset switches, a SATA disconnector, and I/O pass-through. You can also pick up a pair of matching controllers and a 128 gigabyte SSD that imitates a cart.
Cool.
It does look retro. They talk about the Pine Dio.
Where is my super glue?
They have one. They have their own kind of Pico knockoff called the OX64, but it has a RISC-V chip with single board computer with 64 megabytes of RAM, capable of running either Linux or RTOS. It looks like a Raspberry Pi Pico. It can effectively be used as either a microcontroller or a tiny PC. It's got a 3-core 64-bit. Oh wait. System on a chip with 3 cores, a 64-bit RISC-V core, a 32-bit RISC-V core, and a low-power RISC-V core. 2 configurations, one which has 16 megabytes of flash and no micro SD socket, and the latter 128 megabytes of flash and takes a micro SD card. Have you done anything else with your Picos, Joe?
No. I have seen some builds that have come out for like macro pads and things using that now, which means that the software is there, and I can probably already use some of the setups that I already have if I want to switch over to a Pico. But I haven't seen any projects that have really, piqued my interest in regards to the Pico. Unless I want to get other hardware. There was that one Wii project. Or no, not a Wii, it was a Dreamcast.
Did y'all know that Honky was harassing me on Reddit?
Would that surprise me?
Because I say you could play mobile games on PC with Google Play Games Beta.
I just asked if there was any games that you actually wanted to play.
I said yes. And you said,
But you
okay,
didn't
which
tell me
games? And I said the good ones.
You know what I've been playing? I've been playing Pixel Dungeon
Was that
off
fun?
of F-Droid. What have I been playing? I got Pixel Dungeon, Shattered Pixel Dungeon, Tower Jumper, which is just a mindless game but fun. And I installed Endless Sky, and I've played it a little bit. I want to get more into it, but I feel like it's going to be suck.
Pixel Dungeon.
Shattered Pixel Dungeon off of F-Droid.
There's Shattered Pixel Dungeon and then Pixel Dungeon.
I'm playing Shattered Pixel Dungeon.
Shattered.
I'm not sure what the difference is.
Oh, it was just updated this month too. Traditional roguelike game with pixel art graphics and simple interface, based on Pixel Dungeon. Okay. Go to the GitHub. I'm currently upgrading my Proxmox backup server. Moving it to an i5 6500, I think, from the second gen i3 box it's in there. This looks pretty cool. Shattered Pixel Dungeon.
It's fun. Either I'm not very good at it, or it's not meant to be played very long. But I mean, it's something I can play for a few minutes and go through a couple dungeons, and then wind up playing.
Says every game is unique with 4 different playable characters, randomized levels and enemies, and over 150 items to collect and use. The game is simple to get into, but has lots of depth. Strategy is required if you want to win. New content roughly once a month. Are there any Android games y'all would want to play on PC? Or is it always the other way around? You want to play PC games on your phone?
I can't think of too many Android games that I'd want to play on a PC. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Knights of the Old Republic, but you know what? That's a PC game that got ported to Android.
See, I was just thinking my favorite Android games are actually PC ports to Android. Like I'm playing that, what is it, Graveyard Keeper now, and that's originally a PC game. I played Stardew Valley for a while. That was a PC game. Is a PC game. Sometimes I play Titan Quest. That's a PC game. My Time at Porsche is a PC game. So yeah. And then the games that I play that aren't PC games are just like little time wasters. Well, like little time wasters, like a golf game, and you know, just
like
play
the
for
next thing that came to my head was, you know, all the different emulators they have, but you know, you got those on PC too. So
well, that's true. Yeah. Now you can even play PS2 games, and people are really working on that Switch emulator too.
So basically what you're saying is everybody wants their phone to be a computer, but nobody wants their computer to be a phone?
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion, yes.
You won't get any argument out of me.
Have you guys heard of Nala?
It sounds familiar. What is it?
It says Nala is like apt, but better. I'll add it to the show notes here. It's pretty cool looking, the CLI interface. Oh, I'm behind here.
Yeah,
Did you look at this, Netminer?
I have
Have you heard
looked
of
at it.
Nala? Yeah.
I've looked at it. It was featured on Awesome Open Source some time ago.
You gotta need a little progress bar at the bottom. It's a Python-based front end for apt, actually. Like apt enhanced, the user experience from apt-get, Nala takes it to the next level by making it more human readable and presenting only the relevant info with beautiful colors. Nala brings in the list of packages that will be affected by the command I execute, and it presents only relevant info. Parallel downloads, check for the fastest mirrors and use the fastest 3 by default to speed up downloads. Each command you execute will be stored as Nala history with a unique ID compatible with Fish and ZSH. Makes apt more human readable. It's apt install Nala. I wonder if they have something like this for DNF. Oh,
If not, they will soon.
Honky's typing.
What are we talking about, Nala?
Yeah.
Has anybody tried it?
Netminer said he tried it. Did you say you tried it, Netminer, or just saw it?
No, I saw it. I don't know if it's a front end or a rewrite or uses some combination. From
The
the
correct
review
answer is yes.
was unclear.
It says it's a front end, a Python front end for apt.
Yeah, and the awesome open source review said something different. And since I have my stuff buffered through the Pi, I may not want it to look for other mirrors.
How's that going? Using the cache.
As far as I know, pretty good. I get occasional hiccups when I do an update, but not too bad as far as I can tell. I
Good.
haven't really expanded out to more than I have one primary machine, and I haven't expanded out to the whole to my whole array. I'm going to be doing some updates on a couple of machines right here, especially now that we've gotten cooler weather. I'm running the house at 54 degrees with 0 Putin juice active at the moment.
What temperature is it?
54.
54.
Room temperature, yeah.
Wow.
And
Well-
with gas prices right now the way they are, yeah. Yeah.
Just fire up your servers.
I haven't enabled the furnace just yet, but I'm keeping an eye on the temperatures.
I like this Nest box that Honky posted.
Yeah, it was a way to run virtual machines inside of Android.
It makes use of the Android virtualization framework in Android 13. I think we talked about that before, that before that came out, that would be cool to run VMs in, and that's what this is doing.
Designed to work with the Google Pixel 6 and 7 series phones. Cool thing about it is you can run virtual machines just right inside. You don't need to restart the system altogether.
Yeah, it's like a little Proxmox for your phone.
Right.
I'll have to test that and see how well it works. I mean, I've run virtual operating systems on phones before, but only the high-end ones.
You install Linux operating system in a container that can communicate with the host operating system. You can have access to shared folders. Linux apps can access documents, images, and other files from your Android file system and vice versa. You can snap a photo using your Android camera app and edit the image using a Linux app. Download a document using an Android web browser, then use Linux text or document editor to open and modify it.
That was the other thing too, was the fact that it had a direct connection to the Android system as well as the VM itself. So you can connect to like if you could take a picture in Android and then access that picture through the Linux VM.
It's cool.
Yeah.
See, this gets you closer to the whole, what is the word they use when they're trying to bring the phone and the PC and all that together?
Convergence?
Convergence, yeah. Gets you closer to, because if you just...
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, cool, man. No problem.
Y'all remember Maui Shell?
Yep.
They're supposed to do the whole convergence thing. I haven't heard much from them.
Nope.
Well, was that one Android version that was basically Dex before Dex was Dex?
I don't think it's Android. I think it's just Linux. But supposedly Maui Shell, you could run it on your laptop and your mobile phone. Let me see if it's even still around. I haven't even... Convergent Shell for desktops, tablets, and phones, composed of two parts. Cask is the shell container and elements templates such as panels, pop-ups, cards, etc. ZSpace is the composer, which is a layout and places the windows or surfaces into the Cask container. I'll put it in the show notes. It's available as an app image.
No, she's still over there.
If I had a Pixel phone, I would try that Nest box.
Right?
What's the newest one? Is it Pixel 7?
Probably.
Yeah. They have it for $500 at Best Buy unlocked. Wonder what the specs are on it. Specs. Oh, it's got Google's own processor in it, Tensor G2. When did that come out? Do you guys know? Remember? 7. Oh, that's pretty recent. Announced October 2022.
There you go.
Available released October 13th, 2022. Just came out last month. Octa-core CPU. They have a 128 gigabyte version with 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte version with 8 gigs of RAM, no micro SD card slot. How big does a phone have to be before a micro SD card slot is not important anymore? 256 enough? 128?
You know, I think a micro SD card slot is always important, but
Yeah.
I know that the manufacturers completely disagree with me, and it seems to be at that 128 range. But I've been able to do it with the 256, so I don't know.
Probably good way to 128.
Let me see what I'm using.
Most of mine are 256 or 512.
Storage. Internal storage. I'm using 118 gigabytes. How do you view? Oh, SD card. I'm using 84 gigabytes. So I would need 256.
Are you using all of your space?
On the internal, I'm using 91%. 118 gigabytes out of 128 gigabytes. The SD card, I'm using 71%. 84 gigabytes out of 100. Well, it says 119 gigabytes, but it's a 128 gigabyte card.
Out of curiosity, what are you using all that space with?
To be honest, I don't really know.
Porn.
It says for internal, apps are taking up 76 gigabytes. That's the biggest one. And all my images and videos go to my external. 40 gigabytes of videos on my external or on my SD card. 23 gigabytes of images on my SD card. Other 17 gigabytes. That must be apps. I tried to move as much as my apps as possible to the SD card, but some of them you just can't move over.
The 8 gigs just on apps. What are you running?
So who knows?
Whatever F-Droid randomly installed when he wasn't looking.
Yeah. I was sleep installing stuff. Images. Let's see. I'm using the camera, the gallery. Something that comes with Samsung called AR Zone, AR Emoji Camera. I've never even used those, but I don't think I can delete them. InShot, which is a cool little photo editor. Open Camera from F-Droid. Photo Editor from F-Droid. Audio, I've got Podcast Addict, YouTube Music, TuneIn Radio Pro, Funkwell, and Spotify. Video, I've got Prime Video, YouTube, Tubi, HBO Max, Dream Player, which connects to my TV head-end server, so I can play live TV and recorded TV. DVD. Remember that app we talked about that you could download videos from pretty much everywhere? From F-Droid called DVD?
Yes.
UCut Video Editor is what I use to edit videos. VLC, of course. Books, Smart Audio Book Player, Voice Aloud, Audible, Kindle, and Audio Bookshelf. Another called Perfect Viewer that I use for comic books. Firefox, Chrome, Trailforks for mountain biking, Google Earth, some Garmin apps, Wallabag, News, which is my MiniFlux news reader. Got my banking app, my Bitcoin app, some kind of AT&T app. I don't know what that is. Whatever came with the phone. Can't get rid of it. Venmo. I was surprised how much room Venmo takes up. My games probably take up the most space.
What do you got?
I know that Titan Quest, let's see, is Titan Quest is 4 gigabytes. My time at Porsche is 1.94 gigabytes. Stardew Valley, that's not that big. 335 megabytes. Graveyard Keeper is 343 megabytes. There's a golf game on here. A few different emulators. They don't really take up much. My mail app. You know, I bet I got a lot of emails on here. VPN, OpenVPN, Home Assistant. Different Nextcloud apps. I got Nextcloud Notes, Nextcloud Passwords. Shopping. I got a Play Store, Google Rewards, Galaxy Store, AliExpress, Amazon Shopping, eBay, F-Droid, Mastodon, Reddit, Element, Telegram, Jitsi Meet, Moomla, different tools like a file explorer, a little workout log deal. Wish I could get rid of Bixby. I never use that. Easy Tether Pro, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it still works or not, but
it does, but it doesn't hide like it used to, so you're limited to tethering speeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the whole point, was to get around that whole limitation that they put on you to slower speeds. At least for me, it was.
Yeah, didn't it like spoof your?
Yeah, and that quit working. That one portion of it quit working, and it might be working again. I haven't used it in a while, and if it is, then great. I'd love to, use it again. if I ever end up going back to the office. But yeah, for now, it's not all that useful to me. And I did pay for it.
I paid for it too, yeah. But I haven't used it in forever. There's a new distro out called Vanilla OS.
Didn't we talk about that last time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
We've already ran through all of our newest links.
Yeah, we did.
Darn.
It has not been a very
Interactive.
There hasn't been a whole lot of interesting stuff happening this month.
Not in the Linux world.
A lot of people freaking out going, change the Mastodon, here's Mastodon.
Yeah, I hear everybody talking about Mastodon, especially on Mastodon.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
Detroit.
I actually just updated my Mastodon to 4.0.2 from 3.5.3, I think.
I like Mastodon, but I don't do anything in Mastodon, though.
Yeah, I had ran into some issues updating, so I just posted like what I did to update. There's some steps that aren't on the GitHub that you have to do that I had to research, like updating Ruby, and there's pulling another package from their GitHub that wasn't listed in the update instructions, stuff like that.
But when's the last time you posted anything on Mastodon?
That was it. Just
Oh, yeah.
about updating, how to update to 4.0 from 3.5.3. And it worked. But I don't know what I'm going to post on there. I need to post some projects for sure. I'll post Buster on there sometimes. Mostly just pictures of Buster.
That makes sense.
Yeah. People like Buster. Any new recipes, Joe? Anything you've been eating?
Yeah, well, I came up with a recipe for, low-calorie quesadilla.
Oh, really?
Which is really tasty, but I think, I'm definitely not the first person to come up with the recipe, but, I mean, probably pretty boring to hear about. It's 80-calorie low-carb tortilla, 112 grams of fat-free cheese, 57 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt.
Instead of sour cream?
Instead of sour cream, but you mix that with I use the Tapatio hot sauce and the G. Hughes mango habanero, and you mix that up real good, and then you mix it together with the cheese, and then 56 grams of hot pico de gallo. Heat up your pan, some nonstick spray, put it on 1/2, 2 minutes on one side with it covered with the lid on, so that way, the cheese in the middle melts and everything. And then flip it in 2 minutes on the other side, medium heat, and put the lid back on, and it is ready to go. It has been absolutely delicious. It's probably the best quesadilla that I've ever eaten.
Really?
And yeah, it's 335 calories, but if I really wanted to cut it back, I could cut the cheese in half, because there is a lot of cheese on there with 112 grams. So I could cut that back to 56 grams, which would bring the calorie count to 245. And yeah, that would be pretty good.
I don't think I've ever tried fat-free cheese.
Fat-free cheese is generally flavorless, but you're adding it back in the flavor with the yogurt and the hot sauces.
What's Honky eating in that bowl?
Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake.
How many calories is that?
A lot.
350 per serving, but it's 1,040 per container, and I believe I'm eating the whole damn container.
Oh my God.
I had a pint of ice cream a little while ago. It was the Halo Top peanut butter.
That's the low carb ice cream, right?
Yeah. It's 330 calories for the whole pint.
Really?
And I put they have these little mini rice cake things that are about that big each, and then 28 grams of that is about 110 calories, and the two together, along with some like Walden Farms caramel syrup on top, is just absolutely incredible. So 440 calories, well worth it.
Honky doesn't give a damn. Look at him. He's just shoveling down. Fuck it, I'm going to eat right out of the carton.
I haven't been able to work out much in like the last couple of weeks because
of work?
Some of it's work keeping me busy, and then some of it is the tendons in my left arm are all screwed up still, and I've been taking some painkillers for it, and yeah, they make me not hurt, but it makes me concerned that, you know, if I get on the bench and start pushing a high weight, I'm not going to know I'm causing more damage to myself until after it's done.
For sure.
So I'm not going to take painkillers and hit the heavy stuff. So I've been taking it real easy for a while, and like yesterday was the first day I hit the bench again, but even then it was dumbbell bench instead of barbell bench, and kept it pretty light, 55 a side, and then I dropped the weight to do shoulder presses, and then like today I was trying out some squats.
Man, somebody was giving away this samples of this pre-workout at my gym. It's called Gorilla something. I can't
Gorilla
remember.
Mind or
Is that
Gorilla
what it
Mode.
is? Well, they had a rep at the gym that was giving away samples. I
Derek
never tried that stuff until now.
Derek from More Plates, More Dates. He's actually a really knowledgeable guy, and if he's selling it, I would trust him. But the stuff's not cheap, and
Really?
I prefer cheap.
Well, they gave me a package, and it's supposed to have 1 scoop in it, I guess, however much that is. And so, but didn't really say much what was in it, you know, on the little sample package. And I tried it, and like
He's got a YouTube channel if you want to check him out. He does talk about it. It's More Plates, More Dates.
So I was drinking. I drank it like at work because I go to the gym after work, and like I could kind of feel it, my skin tingle a little bit on the way to the gym, you know. But by the time I got to the gym, man, I was like ready to tear off my goddamn steering wheel, dude. I was like, it's like, man, that's gonna have. If I don't work out, I'm just gonna die from a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
That shit is strong, man.
Yeah,
That
he also
sound
makes.
good.
He has 2 versions of his pre-workout, one that's stim and one that's non-stim. And for people that react very heavy to caffeine and things like that, you know, you get the non-stim because, yeah, his stuff will make you tweak.
But man, I didn't want to leave the gym, dude. And I'm never like that. That shit works. It had me like just totally tweaked out or whatever. And I had like the hardest workout I've had in like a long time. I was super sore the next day, which I haven't been really sore in a long time.
Yeah.
So it works, but I couldn't sleep that night, you know. It was still like I like you can drink a keg of Monster and you'll be fine, you know. Like me, I have a half a cup of coffee in the morning and I'm good the rest of the day.
My wife Jackie has literally watched me pound a pot of coffee and go take a nap.
Yeah, there's no way I could do this. So this stuff probably wouldn't be anything to you, but to me, man, it was strong.
Oh no! I sometimes you would be surprised. Just the pre-workouts will get absolutely insane. I think I have mine that I stopped taking because it's like emergency. I need to be awake fuel.
Like just half of it would have been just fine instead of the whole thing. I should have just drank half of it.
Yeah, this is bang.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, well, they make energy drinks, and so they had a pre-workout, and I bought it, and it's just, I was reading it, and it's an absolutely insane amount.
And then he was gone.
You cut out, Joe.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, I can hear
Oh,
you now.
here now.
Okay. No, I'm trying to find, because it's an absolutely insane amount of caffeine that this thing has.
Have you tried any of the Bang energy drinks?
I've seen them.
I like them. They're tasty.
I think they taste all that good.
Do you like Monster better?
One serving of this has 350 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Like how much is in like a cup of coffee?
Not a lot. A can of Monster has like 250, I think.
Really?
Yeah, either 200 or 250. I don't remember. But this is a lot of caffeine all at once.
And so when you drink it, you can feel it.
Oh yeah, but the last time part of my problem is like I will take the pre-workout and I'll be ready to get a good pump, and then I'll get interrupted.
Oh, and then you can't work out?
And then, yeah, because, something stupid happened, like work will call or some emergency will pop up and I have to go handle it, and then I'm just spending the whole time tweaking.
Man, if I couldn't work out after drinking that, I don't know what I would have done. I would have just exploded.
Yeah. It's a good way to stay awake for a good long time.
Oh, for the days when I could caffeinate.
Oh, you don't drink caffeine either, Netminer?
Well, I used to take, but when I was doing security guard work, which the goal was to stay conscious. That's a precise value. I used to take Mountain Dew and caffeine pills at one time.
Do you like coffee?
No, I never did coffee.
Do no-nos?
Yeah, I used to do no-dos and similar stuff. One of these, if I came across the right conditions, I'd like to try cowboy coffee, but that requires coffee grounds and a fire, and I probably won't have both of them together.
What's cowboy coffee? Like when you make it in that pot? Percolator?
No. You make it in a pot, but it's a cook pot. You get your water boiling nicely, maybe. Then you spread your grounds over the top of the water. You put it on the fire with a nice boil for about 4 minutes. Nice hard boil, whatever. Then you pour some cold water over the top to sink your grounds, and there you are.
I never heard of that.
It's supposed to be very strong, but very smooth if you can get the grounds to. When you add cold water, the grounds are supposed to drop to the bottom of the pan, and you just pour off the coffee mixture on top.
You're still going to have a high acidity that way. The smoothest coffee is going to be your cold brew.
Chameleon Cold-Brew, best on the market.
I've never drank
I don't know
cold
that
brew.
one. Chameleon Cold-Brew, I don't know that one.
You drink
Chameleon
coffee?
Cold-Brew. It is
Honky,
great.
Oh yeah.
do you prefer cold brew or hot coffee?
I've never had cold brew.
I haven't either.
You got an Amazon link or
It-
something?
For the Chameleon.
Yeah.
I would get it directly from the grocery store because it's cold.
Okay.
Most
So it's like
places
pre-made.
carry it now.
It's pre-made.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pre-made. If you make it yourself, then you want to use shade-grown organic coffee for the best results.
Because I have the bags, or not the bags, the filters that you close up at the top, and then you drop it into a large container and you let it sit for 12 hours. I have those.
I heard
Yeah,
bad
you can
stuff
just do a
about
mason
that.
jar in the refrigerator and just strain it through a regular coffee filter after 24 to 36 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't do that. I use like it's pretty much a bag, and then you just seal it at the top with the coffee inside, with the coffee grounds inside, and you drop that into a thing of water, and then after it's sat for 12 to 24 hours, you pull the bag out and
Honky.
What?
We know what Joe drinks.
Monster?
brewed from horse piss.
That's Joe's special drink.
Actually, a guy on YouTube has a show he calls The Quartering, which covers a lot of politics and stuff.
Coffee?
But besides the business, he has a company that basically he was inspired after Black Rifle screwed up.
What's Black Rifle?
Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Coffee company.
Oh.
How'd they
Those
screw
guys
up?
were involved in the movie Range 15, which is amazing and everybody should watch.
What's Range 15?
Is that how they screwed up? How did they screw up? I don't know how they screwed up.
Well, they were touting how they were ex-military people and everything like that, and then they went a little extreme on their politics against the Republicans.
Oh, this movie looks good, huh? I mean, Mordancy stars Danny Trejo, Sean Astin, Keith David. Veterans wake up after a night of partying to find out that the zombie apocalypse has spread across the United States.
Yep. Well,
it's got William Shatner, Ron Jeremy.
Hey, you had me at
So
Danny Trejo.
the director went to Ohio State University. I got to see it, the release here with all of the military guys. They did a Kickstarter to raise money to make a military film written and acted by all military, all former special forces.
Whose audio is
Ned,
that?
can you hot mute?
Was that Netminer?
I think that's Netminer.
I'll put it on my watch list.
And the Kickstarter, they said if we can get this much money, we're gonna hire Danny Trejo, Ron Jeremy. So they got everybody in it. They're short parts, but the movie is hysterical. It is so funny. The director is nice as can be. All those guys were wonderful.
What's
Got
it
to
called?
watch the
Range
15
from 2016.
Ross Patterson, I think, is the director. He's the one that did the Dicks Out for Harambe video.
I don't know that one either.
Remember when the gorilla was shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video going around. I'll add it to the show notes. I'll try and find it. It's on YouTube. But yeah, he has some other movies. The one of the first ones is Helen Keller versus the Night Wolves, and it is absolutely terrible. It is so funny, but it is terrible. The other movies are something Pool Boy and FDR American Badass is wonderful.
Oh, it's got Randy Couture from UFC in there.
There's a lot of people, but yeah, they're all special forces. And as the movie was playing, there was a bunch of "you-ha" and things like that coming from them while we were watching the movie. It was entertaining and didn't make sense to me, but I'm sure it makes sense to Joe.
I just have to warn Jackie before I try to watch it. It is a zombie movie.
Oh, she doesn't like zombie movies?
She does not like zombie movies.
Well,
it is so funny. It's so entertaining. I've probably watched it four or five times. Anytime I can get somebody to watch it, I do.
I'm gonna watch it.
The first military movie made for military personnel and veterans, made by military personnel with a cast made up of at least 75% veterans. That's from the trivia on the IMDb page.
Other than the cameos, everybody in it is military or ex-military. All the extras, like when the zombie outbreak happens, watch it. I don't want to say. I don't want to say anything about it. I want to hear your input.
The first
after
review.
You watch it.
I'm going to read the first review.
All right.
Just watch. It starts out real good. You know, it calls it overrated rubbish. Just watched it, and it's very hard to not throw a brick at my TV. It is that bad. This sounds perfect. The ratings and reviews on IMDb giving it a 10-star rating are bogus. The acting is wooden, effects are cheap, and the jokes are cheap and shallow. It's made by soldiers. What did you expect?
Were they thinking Oscar caliber performance here, or what?
Avoid this one, as wasting any of your precious time on this can be better spent. 0 out of 10, although I gave it a 1 out of 10, as that's as low as I can go ratings-wise on IMDb. And here is some more text. Okay. Okay, they put that there so that it would make it onto IMDb.
Actually, it sounds like a perfect movie to have your significant other, female, climbing you like a tree.
No.
Not your significant one.
I won't do that to her. I respect her.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Plus, I like being unstabbed.
Yeah, that's good.
The personal preference. I like not being stabbed.
Honky's going to sleep.
No, I'm here.
Well, Joe, sounds like you've dealt with enough of the stab quotient or equivalent back in your day.
Just a couple times. I mean, it happens. People try to stab you. People try to shoot you.
All right, it's early for us, but do we have anything else?
No, I'm getting tired too.
Oh, I've had about 3 of those full of imperial stouts, and the first 2 didn't seem to really do anything. But after about the third one, I think I'm starting to get a little sluggish here.
All that ice cream.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you know what they call those after you get too many stouts, you get a bit stout too, so enjoy, but moderation.
Boys. All right. I'm your host.
Is it that time?
Listen, if you want to automate all of my parts, then go right ahead.
I will.
I don't have to do anything. I'll just go back to sleep here. Get back, take a little rest. All right, our next recording date will be December 2nd, 2022. Our music is downright provided by Klaatu and Brome. We'd like to give thanks to Delwyn for the use of his mobile server, and we'd like to give a special thanks to Father Finch, Weeb, Dave Morris, and Tony Bemis for all their help and support over the years. I've been your host for this evening, honkeymagoo. With us tonight has been Joe.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Lovecraft.
Good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Minnix.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Thanksgiving. You want to get into Thanksgiving talk? Just kidding.
What's there to talk about? Eat some turkey.
Who's cooking what?
I'll probably wind up having to peel some potatoes. My wife will do the turkey, and my in-laws will be making. My mother-in-law will be making the pies. Mordancy.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
That minor.
Good night, and good night, AEW and Mint and ladies up everywhere. Ms. Joe included. The Ms. Joes included.
And Verbal is still in the room, though he kind of said goodbye a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Verbal, if you're still there, good night. Maybe he did leave.
Good night, humans come.
Good night, Lugbot.
There's Lugbot. All right. Let's stop this recording and say good night, everybody.
Good night, humans come.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
Range 15 is?